A few days ago, the World Cup gave us an absolute shocker. Spain, a total world powerhouse, was somehow held to a 0-0 draw by Cape Verde, a tiny nation making its debut. To really wrap our heads around this massive upset, we've got to look at some truly heart-piercing numbers. Spain completely dominated the field. We're talking 74% possession, bombarding the net with 27 shots. Meanwhile, Cape Verde basically shrank their entire team into their own half. They scrambled for 45 desperate clearances, and their 40-year-old goalkeeper, he pulled off 7 absolute miracle saves. They survived a literal siege. Okay, let's dive into this. A lot of you guys have been asking, can we actually use math to explain exactly why this happened? Why is extreme, park-the-bus defense the absolute only way a weak team can survive a matchup like this? If an underdog dares to go toe-to-toe and attack a giant, is it really a guaranteed death sentence? Well, the math says yes, and the logic behind it is fascinating.
To solve this mystery, let's shift into chalkboard mode for a second. We need to look at a core metric used in modern football, expected goals, or XG. Basically, XG calculates the quality of a team's scoring chances. It tells us the statistical likelihood of those chances actually crossing the line, based entirely on how the teams are performing on the pitch.
Now, based on the actual gameplay in this match, Spain's expected goals was roughly 2.3. They were constantly threatening the box. Cape Verde, since they spent the entire 90 minutes defending, had an XG of just 0.3. When you crunch those numbers, that means the ratio of their expected goals was a staggering 7.7 to 1.
And this brilliantly illustrates our baseline. For the sake of the math, let's assume exactly 1 goal is scored in this game. Based on that massive disparity in quality and chances, Spain has an 87.5% probability of being the one who scores it. That leaves Cape Verde with a super slim 12.5% chance.
But watch how the math shifts when we increase the goal volume. What if 3 goals are scored total? For Spain to win in that scenario, it has to be a 3-0 sweep or a 2-1 battle. When we calculate the combinations of those specific probability paths, Spain's chance of winning leaps from 87.5% all the way up to 95.7%.
Now watch what happens to this trajectory as the goal volume keeps climbing. If we get a high-scoring, back-and-forth game with 5 total goals, Spain's win probability surges to an overwhelming 98.4%. The mathematics reveal a really ruthless curve here. As total goals increase, the favorite's chance of winning infinitely approaches a guaranteed 100%.
But wait, what about draws? Well, the even goal scenarios tell the exact same story. At 0 goals, the probability of a draw is exactly 100%. But if the game opens up and 2 goals are scored, meaning a 1-1 tie, the chance of a draw instantly drops to 22%. By the time you reach a wild 6-goal shootout, the underdog's chance of somehow securing a draw is completely destroyed. It plummets to a microscopic 3%.
So the crucial point is this mathematical rule: higher goal volume provides high error tolerance for the favorites. Every single time a goal is scored, it dramatically reduces the impact of luck. Therefore, a weak team's absolute best strategy to eliminate chance and survive: ruthlessly minimize the total goal count. You want 0 goals.
Because ultimately, you have to realize that football is never a symmetrical game. The strong teams come equipped with massive funding, world-class talent, and incredibly mature tactical systems. They use these immense advantages to systematically dictate the pace, apply relentless pressure, and entirely eliminate randomness from the equation.
This gives us 2 completely contrasting mathematical blueprints for success. The strong team must attack proactively, force a high-scoring game, and leave absolutely no breathing room. But for the weak team, attempting an open, attacking game is literal mathematical suicide. Their only viable blueprint is to completely abandon meaningless possession, shrink their formation, defend fiercely, and basically pray the total goal count stays at 0 while they wait for the favorite to make a critical mistake.
You know, this survival tactic from the football pitch actually expands into a pretty profound life lesson. When you're severely outmatched in life, maybe lacking resources or facing completely overwhelming odds, blindly striking out and fighting head-on is just going to lead to your ruin. The ultimate underdog strategy is this: sink your heart and defend. Hold your bottom line, stabilize your rhythm, patiently accumulate your strength, and just wait for the giant to stumble.
It really all comes down to knowing your position on the board and applying the exact right mathematical strategy. So take a hard look at your own life right now. Are you the underdog who needs to ruthlessly hold the line and weather the storm? Or are you the favorite, the powerhouse, who needs to strike proactively and leave absolutely nothing to chance?